What's up, what's up, what's up? That's your boy, Louisiana Chris, and a place to be. And you tuning in to the Louisiana Chris Show. You heard me? And this video is about my review. And anybody that don't want to watch this fucking video, because I'm gonna be doing a lot of fucking spoilers. Well, I'm gonna try not to spoil, but it's gonna be some spoiler alerts in this fucking video. So if y'all haven't watched the movie yet, I suggest y'all click off right now and not watch this fucking video. This movie is about Scream 7 and what I feel about the movie Scream 7. Now, first of all, the movie ain't trash like people think it is. It's not that trash. It's a typical Scream movie. It was disappointing. It's a guilty pleasure. Is it the weakest out of the franchise? Yeah, it is. It's worse than like people said Scream 3 is. Scream 3 was, I don't know why people tripping at saying Scream 3 is the worst of all is the worst out of the Scream franchise when it's not. Scream 3 is better than Scream 7. I'm gonna just lay that out there. You heard me? But Scream 7 just felt like any other typical average ass Scream new remake movies of a Scream film. So in the opening, I actually like the opening scene of it where Ghostface blows down Stu Macher, played by Matthew Lillard's character, played by Matthew Lillard. So I like the opening shot. I like the scene, like the shot of Ghostface killing those people, those clueless people, victims, and they blew down Stu's house down, and then now he's about to go after Sydney, played by Neve Campbell, and her daughter and shit, and Mark. Which I don't understand why they didn't bring back Mark Kincaid from Scream 3 to be a husband, because it would make more sense if that Mark would have been in this movie. So yeah, I didn't care about Sydney's daughter Tatum friends like that, but I will say that it shocked the hell out of me when I found out that her boyfriend wasn't the killer. And that was good to, like, because it would have been so obvious. It would have been like they copying from the original movie, and especially when he popped up the window like Billy did in the first movie. I'm glad they didn't go that fucking route, and he winds up getting killed, in the street, somewhere out the middle of the street, while Ghostface is chasing The movie was good up till the review of it. I wanted to just clicked out. I just wanted to just leave the movie once I find out who was the killer who was both of the killers. These are the worst review of the killers. I didn't like the killers, like the killer review of it. I didn't like it was Sydney's neighbors, Jessica, and I didn't like it was one of the doctors from the mental institution. I didn't like that at all. And on top of that, you got Courtney Cox, played by Gail Weathers, is barely in the fucking movie. She has nothing to do. I just feel like they missed the opportunity by killing her off in Scream 6. I was even more pissed off that they killed David Arquette. If we gonna kill David Arquette, one of the legacy characters, if we gonna kill off David Arquette in Scream 5, his which is, I'm a big fan of David Arquette since Egg-Legged Freaks and motherfucking C Spot Run. If we gonna kill a legacy character off, we might as well just kill off Gale in the next movie in Scream 6. And they did not do that. They did not kill off on Gale, which was a missed opportunity. I can't like I could live in a Scream movie without Courtney Cox in a movie, because at this point there's nothing we could do with her fucking character. You heard me? So that was a big missed opportunity to kill Gale off, because she didn't show up towards the end, and just build the whole franchise around Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son Mason Gooden, and that girl that plays Mindy, one of Randy's nieces, which I liked. Everybody don't like that character because they feel like they didn't have nothing to do. They are entertaining to watch, but they didn't have nothing to do. They felt out of place. But I'm glad they brought them back from Scream 5. It's nice to have like them, especially a black dude in a movie, to not die. I was pissed off that they killed off one of Tatum's friend, who was a black girl, and they wind up instantly killing her by impaling her with some glass on the table. I was mad because she was held in her fucking own. I forgot the name of the other character of Tatum's friend, but I wanted her to survive the bad. I wanted her to survive real bad in the fucking movie. But nah, dog, that's crazy. Other than that, the movie was alright. It was okay. It had its fucking moments. I'm not gonna sit up and say that it was trash. It just shit. It just a typical fucking scream movie. Average, okay, mediocre. Could have been better. But the opening of the fucking movie was dope. I like the opening. I like I like all of the scenes until almost all of the scenes until the ending. When the killer finally revealed themselves. But the negative of what I didn't like about the movie obviously is I didn't like the AI. I didn't like the AIs. And I didn't like how they didn't name Matthew Lillard as the killer in the started, because there's a lot of Scream fans felt like he did not die in the first movie after getting smashed by Sidney on the TV by the TV electrocuting him. But the thing about that is, man, they try to do that in Scream 3, but the Columbine High School shooting fucked that all up. So that's why it never came into friction that Matthew Lillard came fucking back. So they saying that he might come back in Scream 8, but at this point, I don't want to see Matthew Lillard come back. Y'all had the opportunity to bring him fucking back in Scream 7, and him being the killer of the killer and all that, and have Jessica one the second killer. I wouldn't mind that they meet up in a mental institution instead of that dude. It could have fucking happened that Stu could have been one of the killers and shit. And the first AI where he called Sydney at her job, that was more obvious, and it was more real, until y'all fucked it all up in the ending. And that would make me want to not fuck with that. The whole the Scream franchise, Scream 7. Because y'all had the opportunity to have Stu as the main killer, as the star. That was crazy. So that was my negative, that all the hype around Matthew Lillard's coming back watching the trailer that he about to come back. He about to be the main killer. Nope. They brought back some new killers that had. They brought back some new killers that didn't have no. They had no motives. No, like, that didn't make no sense. And it was just stupid. It was pointless ass motives about why they about to kill him. About to kill her daughter and Sydney. Will I watch this movie again compared to, like, the other Screams? Hell no. My favorite, out of all my favorite Scream movies, I think Scream 2 is better than them all. I think it had the best characters in the movie. I think it had the best review of the killer. I was not expecting well, yeah, I was never mind, I take that back. I knew Timothy Olyphant was going to be the killer of Scream 2. Just by him being in the class and barely in the movie, I knew he was going to be one of the killers. What surprised me as a jit when I was watching this fucking movie, I did not know. I knew it was going to be somebody from the first movie to have revenge on Sydney, but I did not know it was going to be Billy's mom and shit. I knew it was going to be Mickey for sure, but I didn't know it was going to be Nance. Then in Scream 3, for me, Scream 3, I was not even expecting that Roman was going to turn. I didn't know the twist was going to be that he was Sydney's half brother. So that also struck me. So the best movie. Oh, and I also like the opening of Jada. I like how when Jada got killed on the open, her character got killed in the opening of the movie Scream 2, and Oh My Elps. Like, that opening scene is scary. It's scary, but at the same time, it's like it was like exciting to see Jada get killed off in the opening, because if y'all don't know horror film, there's always jokes about the black dude always getting killed in a fucking horror film. But at least one person was so smart, which I also like Scream 2 so fucking bad. I would watch that over and over and over again. There's one person that was so smart, he got the fuck up out until the killer died down, and he came right back in the end. My man, Dwayne motherfucking Martin. He said, I'm getting the fuck up out of here, Gail. Like, your cameraman died in the first one, I'm not gonna be the next motherfucker that dies in Scream 2. So I left. Until this shit dies down, I'm coming right back. I can't believe they didn't bring him back in Scream 3, but I'm glad they didn't, because I know they was gonna kill him off in the next movie. Like, they like on some Joseph shit, on some Nightmare on Elm Street type shit. So I'm glad he didn't come back. That was the smartest black character in Scream history, Dwayne Martin. And for that, Scream 2 is gonna always be my favorite fucking movie. I was mad at it. They kill off Elise Neal's character, Haley, Sydney's roommate. But the original script, when it got leaked, a lot of people don't know it, and that was the same movie. That's the same movie that came out the same year that I was born in 1997, which was a Scream 2 movie. But what the fucked up part about this movie, right, is when it got leaked, originally Jerry O'Connor, Elise Neal, and it was going to be a third killer. I'm not for sure. It was going to be those three. I forgot who else was going to be the killer. It was supposed to be 3 killers in Scream 2. That's why they wound up doing it in Scream 6, when they end up being three killers. But in Scream 2, I'm glad they didn't wind up doing 3 killers and they just kept it as 2. And did I like, was the killers in Scream 2 was weak? Nah. Timothy Oliphant was a better Ghostface killer than Nancy. Nancy was just clumsy. She was weak. She was short. And she was just the worst. She's the worst Ghostface killer of them all. So hell no. But what I like about Scream 3, it was only one Ghostface killer. It was no two. It was going to be two killers, but it wound up being two Ghostface. It wound up being one Ghostface in Scream 3, which was Roman. Roman was the only one that was killing everybody just to get to just to make a movie and get to Sydney and all that. So, and back to Scream 2. I really thought it was going to be Courtney Raries, played by Liev Schreiber. Liev Schreiber's character, Courtney Raries. I thought he was going to be the killer because due to getting revenge on Sydney for putting him in jail in the first one. I think that would have made even more sense too if it was just Courtney and Nancy Loomis being the killer. But it wound up being Mickey. And who was my favorite? Who was my and Scream 7 was most definitely better than Scream 4. If you ask me what was the weakest Scream franchise that I fucking hated as I got older, but I loved it when I was a kid watching it at the movie theaters at 14 in 2011, it has to be the Scream 4. Scream 4 is terrible. It's trash. The production, the screening of the movie, it didn't make sense at all. And the killers was so obvious that it's obvious it was going to be Emma Roberts was obviously going to be the killer, and Rory Culkin was obviously going to be the second killer. Charlie and they was playing Charlie and Jill. Jill and Charlie was the obvious one, two of the obvious killers in the movie. So that's a terrible movie. Fuck Scream 4. That's all I gotta say to that movie. So if I had to rank them all, it gotta be Scream 2 number 1, Scream 1 number 2, Scream 3 number 3. I actually like Scream 5. Scream 5 number 4. Scream 6 number 5. Scream 7 number 6. And then I got Scream 4 at the bottom for me. I fucking hate Scream 4 with a passion. I really fucking do. I might have to do a rant on Scream 4 separately, but other than that, I fucking hate Scream 4. Like, man. And plus the movie, like, the motive didn't make more. Y'all want to say Scream 7 is bad? Scream 4 is worse than fucking Scream 7, I gotta say. The only negative Scream 7 got is not making Matthew Lillard's killers and also having the worst motives and the killer reveals on there. And Scream 4 is way worse. It's way bad than Scream 7. It just is, bruh. Like the shooting, the shot of the scenes, it just looked weird in a motherfucker. Like the lenses of it. Like it was bootlegged. It's a bootleg. It looked bootlegged as fuck. And it didn't age well like Scream 7. And he was trying so hard with the homophobics, the gays, and the jokes was just not hitting. The jokes was corny as fuck, and this was a time when David Arquette and Courtney Cox was going through they shit with they divorce and all that, they marriage and shit. and you could tell that they didn't have chemistry around this fucking movie. They was really beefing, going through it with their marriage and shit. And then Emma Roberts, Rory Culkin, I didn't care for them as the killers, and I'm glad this movie. I'm glad I wound up. I used to love this shit as a fucking kid, as a fucking jit. I used to like this movie as a jit. I ain't gonna fucking hold y'all. But as soon as I got older, like in my 20s, I realized, man, this movie is trash. Especially the fucking characters, my nigga. Emma Roberts as the killer, that was obvious once you get into her getting her hand slit. And that's how I knew it was Rory Culkin behind the mask when he brutally killed Olivia when they was watching Shaun of the Dead. And on top of that, she didn't have no emotions, especially when Trevor was trying to help her. I forgot what's the name of the actor that played her ex-boyfriend Trevor. I knew eventually that she was going to kill Trevor, her ex-boyfriend, in the movie. I knew Rory Culkin was the killer once he killed he brutally killed Olivia, slit Emma Roberts' wrist, killing Sydney's assistant when she fired her. And it was even more fucking obvious when his friend Robbie was cock blocking her from Hayden P. I can't pronounce her last name, but who played Kirby. He winds up walking out and killing his best friend Robbie. That's how I knew he was the killer too. That was even more fucking obvious. And that makes it fucking worse of Scream 4. That the killer was obvious, the jokes was not hidden. To survive a fucking horror film, you gotta be gay. That was a weak ass line. That Scream 4 could fuck itself. Other than that, I'm out. This your boy Louisiana Chris, and I'm out of here. Thanks y'all for supporting my channel. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, the whole nine. And I'm out. Peace. Fuck Scream 4.